So I'll probably start at the beginning, which is, as I'm told, a very good place to start. Andy the farmer. So this is a picture of me back probably when I was 6 or 7, trying my hand at a little bit of herd management there, and you can see that cow isn't so keen on what I'd got to offer. I then tried my hand at young stock rearing and getting involved in the rearing of calves, but that didn't work so well either. I even tried the more agricultural engineering side to farming, but God knows what's doing with that hammer, but I didn't seem to take to that either. Where I felt most at home really was being in the farm office, and I can't even take credit for that photo. I had to get my son to pose for it. What I mean by that is we're a family farming business. The element of the family business that I really enjoyed was actually looking at the numbers, looking at how we drive efficiencies through our farm, and also looking to the future. How are we going to develop? How are we going to change? How are we going to become more innovative? And that really left me with a bit of a crossroads and a bit of a decision to make when I was 18. Do I go to agri college and study agriculture, or do I do something different? So the nearest I got to Udders was going to Huddersfield, and I studied business there, which is probably one of the best decisions I made. It's something that I really enjoyed, I was really passionate about, and no matter whether I work in agri or a different sector, I knew that business was going to stand me in good stead. As part of that degree, I did a placement year working for a marketing business. It was a business called Bounty. For those of people, children, you've probably heard of it, but it's dealing with breeding of a slightly different nature. So Bounty have got representatives in 95% of UK hospitals, collecting data from mum and joining them onto their parenting club. Now that data becomes very, very worthwhile for the likes of Procter & Gamble and Johnson & Johnson, because it allows them to run targeted marketing campaigns to reach mums with children at certain ages within certain regions of the country. And to be honest, it was probably during my placement here that I realized the power of data, and how really, if you've got some good data, it allows you to make much better decisions, and from this point of view, allows you to make much better targeted advertising. I then got the travelling bug. After finishing uni, I went on to Australia and New Zealand, so plenty of dairy farms over there. But I also worked for Coles head office, which is their equivalent to Tesco. My task there was to launch a loyalty scheme, so very similar to the Tesco club card. This was about how we utilise data and how do we drive footfall in store, but also give our consumers something more and something what they want. So giving them offers for products that they buy regularly. It comes back to this theme of data is key in business, whatever business that you are in. Then latterly, and where I spent the majority of my career before I came back to the farm, I'm going to stand over here in case the signal's going. I was working for a business called Return on Digital. So I was approached by a guy that had set this company up. It was a focused digital marketing business based in Manchester. At this point, we're at 2010. So a lot of businesses got websites, and they're all about how do we get more from our website? How do we get more traffic, more leads, and most importantly, more sales? So this business was very focused on the marketing piece. We didn't do build websites, but when it came to sort of search engine optimization, social media, paid search, this is what we did. I thought I'd give it a couple of years and then I'd come back to the farm. I ended up being there 6 years. We grew it from 4 people from 100,000 turnover a year to 2 million and 32 staff. It was great, but I was commuting an hour and a half into work each day. I'd got a young family, and I got a family farming business sat on the sidelines that I was missing. You know, it was, you think farming hours are bad, but actually when you're commuting in and out of the city, you don't even get to have the breakfast with your family. So it was more of a lifestyle choice, and how can I have a better lifestyle whilst also playing my part within the family business. So 3 years ago, I came back to the farm. That's my wife and 2 kids and the old man, the boss there. To give you a little bit of information about the business, so we're a 4th generation tenanted dairy farm based in Macclesfield in Cheshire. We're farming about 470 acres, 300 cows, 160 followers, but with plans that are currently in place at the minute to take that to 400, operating on an all year round calving system. So we're producing about 2.3 million litres. We process via Muller and sell on a co-op supermarket contract. Now, I couldn't resist this pun here, but when I came back to the business, it was very important that I carved my role. Actually going outside the farming business allowed us to sit down as a family and see, how is this going to work? How am I going to play to my strengths? Because I didn't want to just fall in my dad's footsteps, do what my dad always did, because it wasn't what I was going to enjoy, and to be honest, it's not what I'm good at either. So we spent a lot of time looking at how can I add value to the farm business, and how can we look to grow that. So what we did, I'm really into technology, and I think that's key within any farming business to look at how we improve efficiencies. So that was sort of my area of expertise. So we've put new farm systems in place. We've got heat collars on all the cows. We're also working with a company called Smacks Tech, which has got bolus technology within the cow's rumen. It sends me an alert to my phone when a cow high temperature, low temperature, not drinking, on heat, or going to calve. I honestly think investment in technology is the way forward, and how really the farmers of the future are going to be looking at that data and going to be looking at those tools to allow them to make better decisions on farm. We've also got a very picturesque farm. We're very lucky, and that's actually very attractive to a lot of agri-businesses. How can we utilise the farm to help promote their business and their brand? And also by having 300 cows, it gives them a good-sized dairy business to sample new products and new technology. So there's another business that we work with called Map of Ag, which is, again, a data business utilising our data on farm to develop new software for the dairy industry. Then latterly, and probably the biggest part to our family plan, was we want to diversify. And how are we going to diversify? And we set up the business called Hillsgreen. So, named aptly after our farm name, I was racking my brains. How the hell do I combine 10 years worth of marketing with a passion for agri and rural? Well, when I was working in the city, rural and agri is not seen as sexy. People's perception of farmers are walking around in tatty jeans tied up with bale string, when really it's an exciting sector to be in, and a sector with a lot of opportunity and a lot of awesome rural businesses. So why don't I set up a rural marketing business that is targeted for that sector and can help that sector grow? So we set it up 3 years ago, and it's really gone from strength to strength. We sort of have 4 key areas that we help businesses with. So it's around business planning, marketing planning and strategy. I've got a team of people that can actually implement the strategy for them, because I know small businesses are busy, let alone rural businesses. And then also this thing called field tests, which obviously allows businesses to bring their product on farm and then work with the marketing business to take that to market. We've got a variety of different businesses, from Laley over there, working with their Midlands team, to businesses that on there that you probably will not heard of. So there's Bidley Dairy, the Cheshire Egg, Heaton House Farm. All of these are diversification businesses. So Heaton House Farm 20 years ago were milking cows. Now they're a 2 million turnover events business. Cheshire Egg, developing a brand, selling eggs. And Bidley Dairy, processor just down the road, who's gone into processing in a big way and is all about trying to add value to their milk and I'll come on to my milk campaign later on. So what have I really learned in terms of diversification? The first thing is play to your strengths. Don't diversify into something because that's what everybody else is diversifying into. Find something that you think is really going to play to your strengths, how I've done with the marketing business. Do something you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, it doesn't feel like work, okay? And I was having a chat with the guys at the business barn last night. So if you've got an area where that is underutilized, you know, and it's the easy way to make money is to do some caravan storage. Well, that's fine, and it's pretty easy money. You know, you just need to make sure somebody's there, somebody books the caravans in, and they pay the rent, and off they go. If you want to go into a farm shop or process your own product or go into glamping or holiday lets, that is a different kettle of fish. And even if the numbers stack up, don't do it unless you think you're going to enjoy it. Because when you're cleaning rooms at 6 o'clock at night on a Saturday evening, it's not fun, even if it makes you quite a bit of money. The other thing it's very easy to do is get all overexcited with the plans on how we're going to diversify. You know, we walk around the farm and we could do glamping here and we could do this there. And then by Monday morning, we've booked some glamping pods and away we go. Please, please, please take time to plan. You know, if that's the one takeaway you can have, it is time to plan, speak to people, do the numbers. Because before that, you know, there's no point in jumping straight in. I'm talking about numbers. This applies to whatever business you're in. If you don't know them, you really haven't got a business. So really get fixed when you're doing that plan. What numbers do we need to hit? If we're going into glamping, how many people do we need a year? How much do they need to be spending with us? Again, you haven't got a business unless you're focused on your numbers. So that's sort of the marketing business and the farming business and how I've come around from, I suppose, my experience outside the sector, coming back into the sector. I've also been asked to talk about Mission for Milk. And actually, there's quite a few lessons to be learned from a campaign that I've set up that you can relate back to business. So Mission for Milk. It probably started 11 years ago when I was at uni. I did my dissertation on the branding of milk. Now, at that point, really, Cravendale was the main brand in the milk category. But you would walk down the milk category aisle and we are selling our healthy, nutritious product in cheap plastic containers with a blue top, a red top, and a green top. As part of this dissertation work, there was so much opportunity for the dairy sector to really shout about our product and market it better through more niche brands. Earlier on this year, I was asked to speak at the British Cattle Breeders Conference. The whole theme of the conference was around marketing and how we in the agricultural sector can market our products better. This was ironically in anticipation for Brexit. But what it did allow me to do is get back into the dissertation that I did 10 years ago and look at what are we doing in the milk sector. Well, ironically, I found that over the last 10 years we've done very little. There has been a few more niche brands come into the market, but Cravendale's still the market leader, and we're not doing anything as an industry to promote the health benefits of our product. The biggest change is we've got competition on our hands. So this was taken in Sainsbury's early in the year, exactly the same as it was 10 years ago. This competition is well branded, it's sexy, it's appealing, and it's growing dramatically. And that is the non-dairy alternatives that are coming onto the market, and people are switching to these because of the perceived health benefits. Okay? A lot of people think that these are vegan drinks. They're not. Muller's data that I was speaking to one of their marketing team is there is a trend of the 45 pluses that would typically buy 4 or 6 pints of milk a week, swapping 2 pints of that for a non-dairy alternative. So they're going down the aisles, they'll put 4 pints of semi-skimmed and they'll put a couple of pints of oat milk in as well. So we really need to wake up to the fact that we have competition on our hands. So that we decided after here to have a campaign on Mission for Milk, all about health benefits of milk and to change the perception of milk in the UK. Has anybody heard of the campaign? Okay, so we need to work harder in Wales. All right. I'm just going to show you the video that we launched on social. Hi, I'm Andy from the Mission for Milk team. We've set up this campaign because we're so frustrated with how poorly milk has been marketed for years. Milk is such a great nutritious product, full of calcium, protein, B vitamins and iodine. Great for kids, teenagers, adults and the elderly. Yet very few people are aware of the health benefits of milk. Please join us at Mission for Milk. Take part in the Milk Pint Challenge or simply take a selfie with you with the good stuff. And don't forget to nominate your friends, colleagues and kids. Cheers. What that allowed us to do is actually to gain a following. We got plenty of people taking part, from NFU guys, consultants, young farmers, people up and down the country. We've got Collinson's there, we've got some more young farmers, managed to get a bit of celebrity endorsement there, and we managed to get some press coverage, which is really important for our campaign, to actually get people talking about it. I was very honoured for the Guardian and the Weekly to really start backing the campaign, but also we took it out there to the wider agriculture in terms of BBC Radio, which were really good supporters of actually helping us get our campaign out there. And throughout the summer, we have been telling our story. So that's up there. We've got a farm walk that we're going to. Bottom left, we had a team from Muller and Co-op on farm talking about it. We were at Open Farm Sunday, NFU meetings. And we were starting to build an army, okay? So we have now taken it a stage further and we're taking it offline. So we've got plenty of banners. I've got a couple here if anybody would like to take some, or you can buy them online at missionformilk.co.uk. Very, very simple messages. A bit tongue-in-cheek there with, are you getting enough? But also trying to address that full-fat milk is actually 96% fat-free. So, I've run through that quite quickly, but there's a few key lessons that I think are important for you to take away to your business. So you need to be really passionate about your cause or passionate about your business if you're going to go anywhere when you're diversifying. You must have a strong why. So if anybody studying marketing might have heard of Simon Sinek. A lot of people know what they do, they know how they do it, but can you say why you are doing it? Because if you can get that message across to your consumer, you're more likely to get better results. If you've got some data, use that. So why use your product? Why come to your farm shop? Use some data to back that up. Build a following with like-minded people. So the rural sector is brilliant because we have great relationships with other businesses up and down the country. So if you're a farm shop or you're starting in the product, start telling people about what you're doing and see if they can help with your marketing for you on the ground. Have that strong, clear message. So the reason why milk marketing has been poorly executed over the years is because we've had several different stakeholders telling the consumer several different things. Now really, where the vegans have got it right is they've built an army and they have a strong message, and with Veganuary, everybody was clear on what that message was going out to the public. For us as an industry, we've been saying several different things in several different ways, and it's getting lost. So nobody hears us. So have a clear message, hence why Mission for Milk is all about health benefits. Be clear on who you want to reach. and then go out there and tell your story. Okay, finally, just a little bit of a plug. If you've liked what you've heard today, I'm actually part of a team that's setting up a business conference in January over in Cheshire. This is going to be a modern business conference that is dedicated for the rural and agri sector. So if you're interested in growing your business, please check out Cultivate. Thank you very much.